Coming next is the panel number 4 on advanced fraud analytics in BFSI, leveraging AI for effective risk management. And again, we have a fantastic panel of experts, industry leaders here who are going to take us through for the next 50 minutes. So without taking any further time, let us introduce to all of you the eminent panel members. Please help me welcome with a big round of applause. Joining us first in the panel, Mr. Sougata Pandey, Senior Vice President and Head, Fraud Risk Management and Data Governance, Edelweiss Life Insurance. Welcome to the panel. Please have your seat, sir. Joining next, we have Ms. Madhu Chantati, Lead FCU Automation and Strategy, Piramal Finance Limited. A big round of applause to you, sir. Welcome to the panel. Joining next, we have Mr. Dillip Kumar, Head of AI and ML Platform, L&T Finance. A big round of applause to Dillip ji. Do we have Dillip ji here? All right, let us wait for Dillip ji while I think... Yeah. Please welcome to the panel. I think we'll wait for Dillip ji. Please come in, sir. A big round of applause for Dillip ji. Joining the panel. Moving next, Mr. Ajay Joshi, Senior General Manager from Route Mobile. A big round of applause to Ajay ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Mr. Anurag Parashar, Head Fraud Monitoring Unit, Internal Assurance from Axis Max Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Anurag ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. And now, let us introduce the honorable moderator for this panel, Mr. Jeevan Joy, Associate SVP and National Head Investigations from Bajaj General Insurance Company. Welcome to the panel, Jeevan ji. Glad to have you here. And we have a full panel here. Along with that, a full house audience. So I'm sure it's going to be a great session. All the best to you.
Thank you. We are in between the award and the last panel, so don't go away. We will hear it out. As we say, from the morning onwards, we are hearing about the advanced fraud analytics. People were saying about the use case, and we are going to conclude it with the last panel discussion. As we say AI, when we think of AI, people say about astrology intelligence, that you're going to predict, right? We are going to predict a lot of things in that way. So I'll just start with one first question. It will be going to be all. You have to just say that how the fraud risk has been evolved in your segment in the last year. If you can quantify something like a percentage from 7 to 10, it has been grown, or whatever it is in that way. Make it very quick, rapid one. Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. You can start, Anurag.
From very conservative to very technically oriented, and the amounts have gone berserkly high.
Very well said. Mr. Ajay.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everybody. So as a solution partner, one thing unique about our position in the market is that we get to see trends emerging all across banks and BFCs and insurers, right? So fraud innovation is sort of ecosystem-wide. So what we're seeing is there's a shift from your reactive control measures to an AI-based real-time intelligence, right? That's proactive. On the other side, fraud has also evolved from an opportunistic to very, sort of organized network. So it has industrialized now. They have become very efficient, and they share intelligence very fast, and even faster than institutions today. So they do cross-bank analysis, shared with the network, same with the mule account database, right? So they have the best AI tools. So you would have heard of fraud as a service, which is pretty a common term. And it doesn't come as a surprise that some of our customer sensitive information is sitting on dark web, literally for sale. So they have an easy access to all the information and intel they ever wanted. So now, one thing about all these cyber capability, they're inherently dual use, meaning the same intelligence which is used by a defender to protect can also be used by a fraudster to attack. So you have examples like Darkbird, and now Claude Mythos is pretty much in use. Governments and regulators are warning institutions of its probable misuse, right? Now I think the inflection point is, again, the new age models that we're using, along with the traditional models, like you have encoder LLM, and then you have multi-models with predictive AI, right? And of course, new releases like GPT 5.4 cyber, and of course mythos, if it is not used or misused by fraudsters, institutions not only be able to find and fix anomalies or vulnerabilities, but would be able to do so in such a large scale of speed, which was impossible for human, teams alone previously. So I believe the shift is happening, and AI is setting the new rules for the game. And institutions who would execute this well, they will definitely, not only save frauds, but also set a new benchmark for customer experience. Thanks.
Thank you. That's why we say never give a mic to Rapid what it was. So Ajay, being a salesperson, it was grab the answers for everyone. Now to Dillip ji, make it a quick one. Huh?
Yeah. So I think there is over $200 billion, fraud transaction across world is happening and across the time over, right? Last 50, 60 years, if you look at the different time stage that fraud is going on, right? Even all the banks, I mean, we are the banker and NBFC background. So if you look at, we also, keep doing a lot of solutions for the, fraud detection and all. But still that is exists, right? But given the, era today, even from mainframe to today, the way we have gone through. So AI, at least we are trying a lot, how to come out of the rule based to, agentic AI and all. But still I believe, this fraud will continue till our,
Our job will be there.
And dead. Yeah.
Our job will be there.
Yeah,
It will continue and we have a lot of opportunity to catch the fraudsters. Madhu.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon all. I will go back 10, 15 years back and I will start from there when there used to be days where we used to check documents and in lending business and we used to see, yeah, there is a font mismatch or not, there is a alignment mismatch or not. So fraudsters learned very fast, acha, you guys are checking these things, let me use advanced apps and prepare documents in such a way that you can't find these kind of things. Now, they started pushing those kind of documents where you can't find these anomalies related to alignment mismatch or font size. So then we came up and said that, acha, let me get into the document, let me get into the metadata of the document, let me understand who is the producer, who is the creator of the document, then catch the fraud. That was the second level of fraud evolution which we have seen in past 5-10 years. Then what they said, acha, you guys are checking the document level, producer level, metadata level checks also. Let us create real documents, and that is where today we are talking about documents are real. Somebody is thefting somebody's identity and giving you set of documents where no matter how much you scratch your head, no matter how much you check on the documents, you will not find any anomaly in terms of document tampering or document anomalies. So then came the important thing which is nowadays, which is required as a skill, we talked about upskilling ourselves, then came reasoning and triangulations in the files. Nowadays, fraud control is not about checking only documentary frauds and identifying frauds. Nowadays, fraud control means reading the entire set of documents, entire picture which is shown to you through loan application and understanding it, triangulate, compare the documents, understand it, and then evaluate and then say that what I need to check, what kind of checks I need to do and identify the frauds. So this is how the fraud has evolved over the last 10-15 years.
Thank you, Madhu.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Synnex, for having us here. So I'll keep the essence of rapid answer. So there are two perspectives of it. One is fraud has gone mass now. So it was more selective earlier. It has gone into mass. So that's why your job is safe. Our job is safe, one way. And the other perspective is we were earlier, as fraud risk management or risk management fraternity, we were working in silos. Now we have, thanks to Synnex and all these platforms where we are connecting a lot, and regulator is also supporting in different ways and means, keeping all the repositories of data and all. So both ways, we are also connecting a lot. So there is a, like the fraudsters are working together, we are also working together. So that's in short note.
Fine. Hold your mic. Again, the question is back to you. As Ajay rightly told, there is an opportunity for the fraudsters now, right? They are also implemented the AI there. They have learned the pattern. They know how to cheat the organization. So the AI versus AI, that is the fight now, right? How the question is to the Chulbul Pandey of life, that is Sougata. So how we are going to come ahead the race of that, because the frauds are also using the AI. If I tell you that in the motor accident cases today, all the company have one-time settlement program. So they create a image from the AI mentioning that one side damage picture. They can easily create, send it across, they take the money. So they also even using the same thing and cheating us. So in this race, how we are going to be ahead of them, Sougata?
So I think I'll start with a very simple analogy where we know, you need a very fine quality steel to make a good shield, right? And at the same point of time, that fine quality steel can make a good sword as well, right? So it's not only the shield, the swords are being also made from steel. So coming from that analogy, it's the way we are, I'll give you a good example of last month, there was a news of deepfake where Aadhaar in Ahmedabad, 4 people were arrested where they were, they were bypassing the entire Aadhaar biometric verification through deepfake. So, it's a AI versus AI kind of a situation. AI is not the solution for us anymore, only solution to look at. So when we look at the frauds which are coming from our deep fake, first thing is we have to now get into a situation where it's not only a AI tool which is identifying the anomalies in the pixel of a photograph. It has to go beyond and identify a deep fake. Right. So if you look at the kind of agentic AI, agentic AI softwares which we are using, the different type of, your agentic AI is it good enough to interrogate with the transaction? In a subtle way, some of the agentic AI, platform, they are asking question to identify the genuinity of the customer. Just to give a very basic example, when I remember when we have started those screen coming, whether it's a human or robot, we used to just click, it's a human. Nowadays, it's no more only human or robot. You have to kind of solve few more puzzle, right? So now it has to go to a next level. When you are identifying not based on binary, you have to go asking more, probing the customer in a subtle way. That will help. Second thing, someone was mentioning that that bank mule hunter AI, which has been introduced by RBI recently. Now, in mule hunter AI, if you are working alone is in silos to identify fake this thing, it will be difficult. So it has to be institutionalized where you are searching across the industry whether there is a pattern which is coming up, right? So it's not about individual fraud identification, it's about identifying whether it's a part of a AI cluster which is getting triggered, which is triggering a fraud which you are which is defrauding the company. So we have to think how we can take it to the next level where we cannot be in piece that, okay, I have got one good AI tool or one good AI agentic AI I have implemented. So that era has gone. We are moving to the next level where we have to think smarter that how we can take it to the next level where we can do some more industrialization, where we can connect more. We can, in one of the forum we were discussing that the way we have IIB working for insurance industry, PIR is coming, from central government where entire policy registry, insurance registry will come, which will be a live registry. Similarly, I4Cs you have, where for all banking frauds are getting notified. Now, how we can create a, synergy between all these 3 central repositories which are available. Currently, these are all working in silos, right? So, any fraud which is happening in insurance, a fraudster can, they are not limited to insurance or banking or NBFC for that matter. Wherever they see opportunity, they will get into it. So how we can take it to the next level where my agentic AI platform or a software will try and identify whether it is coming from an AI cluster, which is a fraudster cluster between a bank, NBFC and a insurance network. So a lot to do on this front, and the thinking has to happen on that line.
Thank you. So the partners of data, here you have an opportunity that the AI also should tell that what are the new kind of frauds which is going to come. That is how we can go ahead on this. Thank you. Ajay, you want to say something? Yeah.
Yep. So I completely agree with what Sougata sort of bring on the table today. So today it's not about more data, right? The shift is about connected intelligence and contextual intelligence. So you already have a lot of databases, right? So you have your traditional bureau database, and you have alternate database, you have payment database, and then you have global consortium, you have real-time phone intelligence also. But are they communicating with each others? For an individual bank or NBFC or an insurer, it's going to be too much of a heavy lifting to create that pipe, right, of communication. But somebody will have to take that leap and possibly, take this initiative. And it would definitely be, that's the key. Connected intelligence and contextual basis on the product nuances and the regional nuances, right? And today, what working best for your model, those variables may not stand true tomorrow. Last thing, you have to calibrate and recalibrate your model and assign different weightages. Please.
Yes, sir.
Just to add what Sougata said, I think we are talking too progressive here.
Yeah.
Right. We need to understand a couple of basic differences when it comes to fraudsters and people like us who are from the anti-fraud fraternity. The kind of resources at our disposal, the kind of academic qualification or the collective experiences we have, I think we can do far better than them. For them, it's hit and trial. Right? For them, it's hit and trial. If you see, the majority of cyber frauds are happening from the pockets like Nu or Jamtara. Right? So for them, it is hit and trial. I don't think so they would have purchased any licensed chat GPTs or perplexities of the world, right? It's just hit and trial by them. So they are, I would say, they are using more of human intelligence coupled with artificial intelligence. So we need to understand and bridge that gap. We have more resources legally at our end for utilization rather than them.
So I would like to add one point, was Ajay was talking about data now. We have been discussing of late a lot for last couple of years on quality of data, right? So whether we have our data which is unstructured, structured, what kind of quality of data we have. Now I think the time has come where we have to get into a position where we have a schema agnostic system, where that system doesn't call for a structured data. Whatever way you have a data, schema agnostic system will catch the details which are required. And I think that is something which we should look forward to.
Dillip ji, you want to say something?
I have a little bit of different thought. What all the panels they are talking about the AI, and little bit pro AI because I almost developed more than 200 agentic applications so far last 3 years, and also written a book which just released 1 week before. It's a 600-page book which talks about over 700 applications, right? So the point what we are seeing, I developed first time the voice AI, where our entire collection process will be, managed by the voice AI agent. We saw the efficiency is close to 71 to 80% of human efficiency. That means we have a 1200, collection agent. I can replace at least 70% of the collection agent using AI because I can, collect the money with the efficiency speeder, right? Anytime outrage happens, the voice agent doesn't, fail, right? That's the use cases. Also, we saw the dead book, right? So that means a write up when, close to 500 crores is today dead book for any banks, right? People, they took the money, they do the fraud, they run away somewhere, then after 2 years, 3 years, they don't pay, right? Now, our lawyers, brokers, which of the system, we have, right? What are the fraud mechanism we have? We are lost, right? Then I introduced the AI, the legal AI systems, which will read the people's who are, with us has any criminal activities, any civil reports across the India, across the globe, right? So there are a lot of database by government of India, by government of every company. So data you got it, as you shared, right? You marry those data set with, better insight. So you apply the right kind of algo, right kind of agentic framework behind it. We saw there is a 5% of the recovery. That means out of 500 crores, right? You are able to, save at least 25 crores, which is not bad, right? So AI just started playing definitely much, much bigger way. The traditional way we are trying to do the, fraud. So definitely AI is absolutely, I mean, at what level, but it is accelerating, whether it is desk job or any intelligent job. But yeah.
So with that, I'll ask you that how much this data analytics able to identify the scams, okay, without impacting the customer?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, if you look at the data analytics, I mean, the AI is underneath engine of the data analytics, right? You have the wrapper on top of that, right? Again, the entire engine. So there is a system MCP we calls, right? MCP brings the very closure and English literature of the humans to draw the analytics based on the data set, right? Wherever it connects, it doesn't matter, right? Today, if you go to Swiggy, wherever you go, right, or our banking world, NBFC, they do the analytics, just ask the English questions, right? Then enter data analytics, including the, right kind of, draws, the graphs, grant, everything will be come up, right? So that's the analytics plays much, much bigger role because you take decision very quickly. The meeting center people in NBFC, in the rural village, they don't know how many scooters they have to buy or sell, right, to get how much money, right?
Right.
And they don't have a system to go select queries and all. They're just, 10 people going moped, reaching to the people and collect money, right? But they will just ask questions. Boys, take the input, your MCP layer, take the entire things, fetch out that, okay, you have sold, 38 bikes, another 10 bike you will buy and you will get it. So analytics is extremely key for anybody and to run the business, right? Yeah.
So Madhu, coming to you.
Just, same question or you have?
I just want to add another this thing. You can add on that. So power, as you told, the data analytics is having very much power in identifying the scam or the trend or pattern. So do you think that, as you rightly told, it is going to combat the digital fraud, the data analytics?
Yeah, definitely data analytics is a boon for fraud prevention, fraud analytics and all. The major plus point of data analytics is that the scalability and the ability to handle large data sets and the faster turnaround times in which it is able to throw me the important factors on which or important triggers on which I need to look up to and based upon which I can make decisions. Having said that, I will go one step back. What is that which makes data analytics powerful in any organization or any function is data. And it depends upon whatever automations you have done in your fraud prevention flows. Are you capturing the enough data which is required to be fed to your ML models so that it can give you the powerful output and it can throw you all the triggers to prevent frauds in your play area. When I say play area, that is also matters. The rules which you are designing, the triggers which are given by, the input which are given by ML models based on which your rules are triggered, should be relevant to your play area, your set of customers, your set of business. You can't have rules which are set for example, a Cat A, super Cat A kind of customers, and you are dealing with Cat B, Cat C customers, and vice versa also. So, we need to question ourselves that are our systems, are our flows, are capturing all the data sets which are required to be fed to your ML model so that your ML model becomes strong enough and it throws the relevant fraud triggers to you which are relevant for your business.
So Anurag sir, this thing, adding to that, he told the data analytics is going to be more powerful with data, a lot of data. As we know, insurance sector, where the digital handicap is, there is no data. Everything is in the document and all. But still, the AI, it's now overrated and says that the old trigger management system, it is gone. A lot of false positive AI has been giving. You are agreeing to that, or do you
100%.
think that how we can overcome over a period?
Sure. Again, the views are personal.
Yeah.
That's a disclaimer. Data analytics, machine learning, AI, very good things. But according to me, they are machines. Or you can say it's a horse. Choice is of the rider, whether they want to use the horse in the bullock cart or in the race. So the most important thing in data analytics, AI, ML, you name it, command. Who is giving the command and what command is given? So the hypothesis creation in terms of what you want to see in that huge terabytes and gigabytes of data, what you're trying to look into, that's important. So till the time you don't have a relevant experience in terms of what you're trying to identify from that pool, from say a transaction of 100 billion, you're trying to find out a fraud of say 5 million. So it's like searching a needle in the haystack. So data analytics, a coder can do that for you, right? A Gen Z person, you just make that person sit and say, boss, I want to see this. But the person who's saying what is to be seen, that person will design, right? He will join the tables, he'll run the query, SQL, whatever you call it. But what remains the main answer?
Very thank you for that, because false positive is still alive and we have to overcome with, as Anurag sir told. So Ajay, to you, as an outsider from the insurance sector and all, we do a lot of AI. So do you think that with this AI, a lot of analytics, what we are doing, it is impacting the customer? Because I'll put it like simple thing. When we run an analytics, as you rightly told, the cat A, cat B, all the customers will fall into that. So the genuine customers also falling into analytics, coming with a new trigger, and people will take that for the field investigation, which will make a burden for the customer. So do you feel that the financial institution or the insurance company is balancing effectively very well with the data analytics or the AI one?
I think institutions are doing fairly a decent job in creating this balance between customer satisfaction or experience and fraud prevention. However, I see we are still to reach the equilibrium. It's still evolving, right? Because there's this constant friction versus security dilemma, and then you have rising concerns over the customer dropouts on a way. Because if you add any extra layer of security, customer may not want to continue the journey, right? And also, of course, there's this constant regulatory pressure. So you cannot be very experimental. Rather, you have to be very accountable and responsible for your actions, right? In one side, we have very high-scale platforms like UPI, right, which almost does today or close to 20 billion transactions in a month, and they are bearing that load, that quantum of transactions very seamlessly. So they have time and again demonstrated that low friction journeys and a very high security can coexist together. If you have real-time analytics in place, then you have powerful AI ML insights, and of course the human teams. The human factor. I mean, one thing about AI, it's not a standalone solution, right? So human intervention is definitely required. It cannot just wait, right? Though dependency will definitely increase, there would be inclination in future with new models, especially for your insurance sector, right? So you have to deal with a lot of unstructured database. There could be natural calamities, and there could be, videos, pictures of maybe flood or those earthquake sort of scenarios. So you have to have encoder LM, and then you got to have for structural database, and for scale and speed, you got to have the traditional predictive AI also to be able to, do it spontaneously. So now, I believe, when there's a social engineering kind of an attack in place, yep. So custom and manipulation can easily, bypass the most sophisticated and secure systems. Right? So here, institutions have to definitely, add an extra layer of protections. There could be additional checks, step-up authentication, delays, as well as friction alerts. So I just told about UPI, how seamless it is. But very recently, RBI proposed that these UPI transactions should be delayed up to an hour. Discussions are happening, it's not implemented yet. And these are, I believe, these are not all the transactions, but certain high value or high risk transactions. So whenever we talk about customer experience versus security, security is non-negotiable. It will always be given priority. We can reduce friction, but we cannot just eliminate it to that. However, now coming back to future, how the trend is going to be like. So now institution will definitely be, there's an urge, or you can say FOMO also, right? That competitors using AI, best models, and where am I lagging behind? Would they eat up the entire market? So new models would definitely be used. And I believe agentic AI, today we are talking about agentic AI, right? Last year it was GPT. And who knows, next year we might be talking about autonomous AI, which might not just take cross-level sort of work or decisions, but also work as an entire organization in itself. But there would be humans on top taking those decisions, deploying that. So I believe, again, we need to move away from this trade-off mindset, right? Rather, we should get to a model where the end goal is not just to prevent or stop fraud, but to have a design-led approach, which also sort of shortens the journey and give importance to manual check.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, Anurag.
30 seconds. I believe you're looking for the answer that analytics on the cost of customer comfort or not. So the standard answer should be, or standard answer has to be, the data analytics has to be zero minimal invasive surgery. Customer need not to know until it's a marketing campaign.
That's it. Dillip sir, you have built a lot of models of AI and all. So I'll only ask one thing. How much dependency, like the AI throws some decisioning. So with that data itself, we are taking some decision or the human intervention is required on that. And why we say so that it is going to be improve the productivity, okay? And with the AI implementation or data analytics, we can improve my decision. Like 100% how much with the system says, and we can reject the one of the application of yours customers.
Yeah.
Are we taking some stand in your organization like that?
So IPL, very quick answer, maybe, 25% human need over there, because what MIT today speaks, right? 95% of the AI programs across the globes, right? People build, still is not enterprise level grade with the right, 100% accuracy predictions, right? Only 5% is really works, right? Even I told 300, agentic application I built, out of that 5 to 10% is really working. Okay. Test, 280, 90, I build it, then try to scale it, it failed, and I trash it, right? So it means, there is a human need. Even, daily basis, a lot of email comes for the customer query. Somebody has paid the money, he has not got the NOC statement, all those, right? So everybody mostly build the email bot system which will scan all the English statement, the pen pull statement of the customer, find the solutions. But can you send that email which is generated from the email bot through the LLM or SLM build or agentic, whichever the versions? Answer is no, because any hallucination comes, right, in the generative state or attaching the automated, connecting so many CRM and Edelweiss systems, still answer is not there.
So
that means you
mean to say that we cannot completely reject anything basis on the decisioning which the AI gives.
Right. So we need human.
In your company also there is no percentage like 20% you directly reject with the decisions or something which AI gives.
So, okay, so this is one aspect where we need 25% of the people to come and review and work on the LLM based decision. Now comes to the the model build, right? So everybody builds the model, right? Every company has to build the underwriting works where model build. So most of the models, it is a pretty STP process, right? You build it, you deploy it, it run through. If people is asking some, kind of loans, whether it's filling within the model, right? Then that works. Sometimes model drift is happen, right? You need to do it. So that's a pretty much a stable process. But when we talk the next version of the model, which is agentic AI, building something, cautiously something, that's where you definitely need a human brain.
Yes, Madhu, you want to say something?
See, I will add here is that turnaround time matters, and it matters in digital journeys. And there is another play area where we all do business, which is organic journeys, where we can think of manual intervention based on ML model and all those things. But when it comes to digital journeys, your models should be efficient enough to take either way decision. It can't be a gray decision in digital journeys. Of course, business alignment is also required. If at all we want to take a decision based on gray rule, then that journey should pass through NSTP journey rather than STP journey. But mostly it is STP journey. If you want to acquire more customers, do more business, more STP journey you do, more business you do. But for that, any digital journey starts with a mobile number. So the moment customer enter mobile number, it depends upon the input which is given to your ML model, the APIs which you use to pull out the risk associated with the mobile number entered by the customer. Those inputs are real-time basis are going to my ML model or not, and my ML model giving me real-time basis output and either yes or no kind of thing, that matters. And here your two most important thing will come into play is, one is what are the rules you have written in terms of identifying inconsistencies and identifying velocities. These are the most important things. Someone talked about Hunter. Hunter also works mostly on inconsistency and velocity rules. So in NBFC sector, if your velocity rules, your inconsistency rules are well equipped enough, well oiled enough so that it throws immediate triggers on the API inputs given by whatever APIs you have integrated in your journeys, digital journeys or organic journeys, it decides your turnaround times.
Thank you. So turnaround time, one is the factor which can improve an STP. With Pandey, I'm just coming back to you on this decision, which we normally deny the claims. When we deny the claim, the obvious question comes from the regulator. How you have done this, only the decisioning of the system. With this, you have taken a decision on the claim. How are you going to handle this with the regulator questioning on the act of an AI, which makes you to take a decision on the claim?
So I think we have seen an era where we have said that my machine learning model has identified, mostly in underwriting scenario where you are dealing with bulk, we have said that, okay, we have rejected the policy upfront based on the machine learning model score. Now, there is in our era, what we have seen, there is an accountability gap, right? So we are not saying why it's a black box. Machine learning model, we can say it's a XGBoost model, but what that model does with all derived variable, what exactly it's cooking behind, we are not aware of, and kind of looking at the result. Now we are getting into a era where we have to look for a free AI framework, which is your fair, responsible, ethical, and explainable AI, right? So when I'm saying free AI framework, you cannot say your model has thrown something. You have to have a post-hoc explainability tool, which are available in market, which can tell you in few seconds that what is the reason, what is the rationale of telling that this is a bad case, this is a high risky policy, this is a high risky account which has come for a new account for a bank. So that explainability tool needs to be there. We have to take the accountability. RBI has given one directive that in case customer is losing any of the opportunity loss for the AI-led decision which bank has taken, then bank has to consider that loss into their cost benefit ratio of risk. Right, so this is a change in era where we cannot go behind the curtain of AI tool. We have to take the responsibility. We have to say what is the reason, and we have to explain, if required, to the regulator, if required, to the frustrated customer, that what is the reason why this customer has been identified where the policy has been rejected or the account has not been opened on the first go. So that needs to be created in the current this thing. Sorry, I'm playing a role of a devil's advocate, but that's how we are moving in the next era which we are looking at.
Thank you. Very well said. Madhu, because we are coming to an end, I want to 2-3 bullet points on the role of the AI exactly on to the modern fraud analytics, which can help us doing audit or the further investigation. The correct role of it. Give me only 3 points which will be help to say that this is the role of an AI going to play in our organization.
See, so one thing is that, as I said earlier also, see, data analytics is the input to your agentic AI, which is going to play a role. And in future, all mundane activities where there are no ifs and buts, maybe analyzing the data, giving risk triggers related to geography or cluster or, for that matter, branch, and with a scale and with a faster turnaround times, their AI agents are going to play major role to identify frauds. And in terms of audit, when I say branch, so when you feed your AI agents with the triggers related to branch audit, is there any branch with high delinquency ratios? Is there any sudden jump? Is there any, see, in fraud control, higher fraud or no fraud is also a alert for us. So those kind of things are a way forward. I think in these areas, AI going to play a major role to fasten our decisions, fasten our turnaround times, to bring in more accuracy in our decisions, so that we take more effective and intelligent decisions in fraud control.
Thank you. I think so you were saying that trigger, turnaround time, and improvising the productivity, which is the role of AI. Other than that,
so I was saying that in one of the panelists has already spoken about the human in the loop, right? So I think AI will play a role of an enabler, right? So human in the loop has to be very important. AI will not take the decision unless you are very sure you have a post hoc explainability tool in place and you are taking a call on certain volume. That's a separate ball game altogether. Otherwise, for a high volume, high ticket size case, bring it a high ticket size loan, bring it a high ticket size policy of insurance, whatever it is, AI will play as a role of an enabler, and human in the loop has to be smart enough to take the right decision with the help of the AI tool.
Thank you. So you, Dillip, so you.
I think, AI should first capture the intent. What is the human intent, or what is the application intent? Whichever system, GT system or people's or programs, it should capture the intent, the first element. Second is after capturing the intent, what action is supposed to do, right? So action should be the another concept. And the third, of course, it should have a sufficient memory, right, to hold the intent quite longer time and accurately, and play as a co-worker that,
Assisted.
assistants, right? So, of course, lot of toolings, a lot of new things has come up, lot of models, right? We started with, 300, 700, billions parameter. Now, today we are just talking SLM, small things, right? Which is based on the, expertise. So that means the intent capturing, then the next is the actions, the third is, assistants. These are three things. If it does, at least 50% of the overhead, should be reduced. The GTM will be faster, and people should, live a little bit healthy and better life.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
One point I will add is, which is I feel more important to make your AI models more powerful and effective for us, is that the faster we fed our AI models with the industry trends, fraud trends. Per se, we talked about selfie liveliness. Nowadays, all of us are doing selfie liveliness checks while onboarding customer, and we have separate thresholds to make it pass or reject. But now deepfake has come, which can bypass selfie liveliness check. So, do we have anything to defend ourselves against deepfake kind of thing? So if we have those things, we should be fast enough to test those things, those solutions, and deploy it in our systems, embed in our systems, so that intelligence is also going into your AI model, so that your AI model can take effective decisions. So our response based on the fraud trends we are seeing in the market and immediate enablement of those fraud trends in our systems to fed our ML models and to fed our AI models is very, very important.
So the most critical one is feeding back to the system and teaching the system again, which will give you, sir. So last one, which is, so looking ahead with all saying about data, architecture, governance, a lot of things. So tell me one thing which company should invest in future to make the more fraud mitigant company. So what will be the one? It's a data we need more, or is it AI we have to invest on, or the governance we should invest on? Which one you feel, one capability which the organization should invest?
Obviously on brainy humans, those who can use it. So on a lighter side, yes, so organizations should invest from a futuristic perspective. They should be able to understand, be predictive in nature and forecast the kind of new gen frauds they are going to face. Second, new gen customers they are going to handle. Those who are little less patient.
Right.
In terms of, with the moving generation, if you ask our fathers, they can wait for an item to be delivered for 4 days, 5 days, right? But right now it's immediate, blanket, this, that, right? So that kind of, so they have to invest in infrastructure so that they can attract the customers.
Understood.
Because till time business is not there, what you will do? Investing on a fraud investigator person, right? But at the same time, you should be updating your systems. And I see across organization, that the data is scattered. If you really want to have a very comprehensive pre-sales pitching, post-sales pitching, product delivery, customer servicing, then a fraud investigation. It has to be one unified system. So organizations should think it from that perspective, that AI need not to be used only for fraud. That is one of the aspect. You need to make yourself ready for that all Gen Is and generative AIs, predictive AIs models. If you don't have that kind of infrastructure, you can't. So the investment has to be multifold, not only on the advanced edge technology, but also people who can handle that.
Correct. Understood. Yeah. Very well said. Ajay, you want to answer to this one capability which company should invest in future to mitigate the fraud?
I think the future is definitely, new technology coming in, because today what you're investing in, maybe you have a CAPEX or an OPEX model. So today, technology which is working pretty fine may become obsolete tomorrow, right? So you have to have some sort of future-ready infrastructure so that you can switch gears immediately as new, sort of model is coming in. So it's more of an OPEX game now. And if we talk about AI, ML, these are always be human, assistants, enablers, like one of the panelists said. So we can have, we can deploy AI ML in activities where we need to do something at scale and speed, like slicing and dicing database, and then you have live monitoring, and then drawing inferences, as well as intercepting fraud signals from large and diverse databases. This is where AI will definitely be all the times, will come to, sort of a handy use.
Thank you. So Anurag so rightly told, customer experience has to be given very perfectly. There, it will help the AI ML to invest more. So even he shift the side to sales now, Sougata, from the fraud. Now, why I want to say that from this role, which we are saying one capability, which as a fraud mitigant, because nobody is giving an answer that fraud has to be stopped. So this is the capability company have to invest. We are on the bottom line. No, the company never invest.
Fraud can never be stopped.
It's not stopped beginning in the level because 10% से हमको कम होना है सर, हमको फील्ड में ज़्यादा नहीं जाना है, धूप बहुत ज़्यादा है, तो हम सोचे कि बैठे बैठे कुछ करें, है ना? तो बैठे बैठे करने के लिए हमको क्या करना चाहिए, वही पांडे जी तुम बताओ, because you are the right person. You will say that yeah, fine, we want to invest on thing, because LLM I've seen in the morning presentation, people are saying from the document what we have a lot of documents now, from there you can run through and get some pattern or something which we can feed back to the machine and get a new trend. So where we should invest on LLM or we should do something extra?
I think, I don't know whether this is the right answer for this panel or not. It's more on a behavioral science though. I think what we are missing in current era with the, Gen Z people coming in, with the people with chat GPT, they live in chat GPT, whatever question, rather than asking parents, they are feeling safe to ask chat GPT, which will always help you with a very cozy answer. The biggest challenge is we have stopped thinking. And I think as all the risk professionals sitting in this room, are we thinking enough? I think we should invest in building a culture of thinking. Are we thinking enough for the problems which are coming ahead? I was just thinking while coming today that the kind of deep fake, when I started talking about deep fake, every one of us has experienced that Sitaraman talking about, please invest through this. Mukesh Ambani talking about, please invest through this. All these reels coming in Instagram, we have seen. So all these are byproduct of thinking done by fraudsters. So are we thinking enough, or are we just following the ML?
I told you, hit and trial. They hit and try, hit and trial.
So I think thinking is something which we should invest more and create that culture of thinking within our team.
Very well said.
I will sum up. Think like a fraudster to prevent frauds. So I think we are thinking like fraud detector, not like actual fraudsters. Because like us, we are having this conference here, they are having like daily conferences there in telegrams. And they are, day in, day out, they are thinking how to bypass, where is the opportunity, and they have a liberty of trial and error method. There are so many options available in front of them, and we are sitting here, we are trying, मैं उनमें से एक option ना बन जाऊं, and we are trying to prevent ourselves. So give some time for us to think like a fraudster and see entire flows and systems and say that where can I bypass?
Sir, आपको undercover agent की तरह भेजना पड़ेगा उधर. You should go work with them and come back, and then we'll settle up something of that. To coming to an end, we'll sum up that we told about the AI. So there are a lot of discussion happen. Finally, summing up, it can be used to give some trigger, a pattern. Somebody told that it can be go back to feed, then it will give more thing. We can go ahead with the fraudster by giving more feedbacks, the patterns and all. So I feel that it was a good discussion which been gone ahead and do that. So one of the last panel में a question asked that whether are we filing FIR against the fraudster to create a deterrence to that. So we will answer that on the insurance side. We all are here. We are continuously doing every week one or the other FIR, because that kind of frauds against the accused or everyone will say that now we were very late, but from the last year it has been enhanced to the level, and we are creating more of a deterrence to that. So thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, panel members. And can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this wonderful panel on advanced fraud analytics in BFSI. And we had a fantastic last 50 minutes with this eminent industry experts. My congratulations to the entire panel for successfully having this session, for investing your time and resources and knowledge. And special thanks to Jeevan ji for wonderfully moderating as well. I would request the panel members to kindly stay here for a few more minutes, as we would like to call on stage Mr. Kumar Sanjio, co-founder from Canso.ai. Kumar ji, if you could kindly come and do the honors of felicitating this wonderful panel here. Please. We'll start first with Mr. Sougata Pandey from Edelweiss Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Mr. Pandey for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Followed by Mr. Madhu Chantati from Piramal Finance Limited. A big round of applause to Madhuji for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Dillip Kumar from L&T Finance. A big round of applause to Dillipji for his wonderful insights for the panel. Moving next to Mr. Ajay Joshi from Root Mobile. A big round of applause to Ajayji for his valuable contributions in the panel. Moving next to Mr. Anurag Parashar from Axis Max Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Anuragji for wonderfully sharing his thoughts in this panel. And moving next to Mr. Jeevan Joy from Bajaj General Insurance Company. A big round of applause to Jeevanji for not just moderating the session, but also sharing his insights. Honorable panel members would request you to kindly step forward for a group photo. Kumar, please join them as well. A big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, before the panel departs the stage. Thank you so much, honorable panel members, for your valuable session. Thank you so much to the honorable moderator, and thank you, Kumar, for doing the honors.